Hello again, everyone. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac signs and the coronavirus. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant for all signs. So, anyway, first up, as far as Aries goes, well, as many of you may know, Aries is generally fearless. They have a lot of courage and fortitude. They may handle the coronavirus situation with a lot more courage and fortitude and valor than the other zodiac signs on average. But Aries, being very impulsive and impetuous, just has to be very careful in terms of what they may touch and spreading something inadvertently, because Aries will often move very fast without thinking. So I think those are some things to look at as far as this goes. And Aries, being very combative, will really do everything likely in their power to combat the situation. And they're ones that are not generally going to be in a real strong state of fright or trepidation over the situation. It may affect them a little more than the average person because Aries is very antsy. They like to stay busy. And as many of you may know, there's a lot of places in the world now that have this stipulation about as far as going out of your home in certain situations, and just there's stipulations about when you can leave your home, where you're going to be going, and so forth and so on. And because Aries, of course, is very active and energetic. Now, going to Taurus. Well, Taurus, the thing about Taurus is one of the, it's considered one of the home bodies of the zodiac. Even though they're a fixed sign, they may be able to deal with it a little bit better than the average sign. But the only thing about Taurus is that I do think they're unequivocally the most fixed sign of the zodiac. So they could be somewhat intransigent and set in their ways. I should know something about it. Having a Taurus ascendant, and if part of their routine is going outside even more often than the average Taurus person, and Taurus can actually be very work oriented because they are about making their money. If this is prohibiting them from going out and making their money, say they're not willing, they're not able to make their money from home, and they have to stay at home more due to the coronavirus situation, then they would be in trouble. But Taurus, of course, is very calm and composed, and many Taurus people will deal with it in that manner. Taurus, even if they are upset, they often will not show it on their face if something is actually bothering them, especially Taurus rising. Again, I would know something about this, having a Taurus ascendant, because I do come across, at least superficially, very placid, very calm. And so anyway, but Taurus will be there for others, often for that moral support. Taurus, even though they don't always appear overly demonstrative, but Taurus can actually be one to lend a sympathetic ear. They are moved readily by sympathy, and they have certain capability of giving it as well, not in as much as the zodiac sign Cancer on average, but they can do it anyway. Well, going to Gemini. Well, with Gemini is so restless and antsy. They may have, even though they're a mutable sign, they can have certain difficulties dealing with the coronavirus, just like most of us go. Gemini might, though, the thing about them is they might try to outmaneuver the situation, so to speak. And what I'm saying is Gemini has to be careful, because if there are, the coronavirus is going to be set up in a lot of places, as I stated before, that will give certain stipulations and provisions in terms of leaving your home and so on and so forth. But Gemini is so mobile, they're so restless and antsy, they can have some difficulty in dealing with this. Gemini can be downright peripatetic, and they could often be moving around from here to there, and that is where they're going to have the most difficulty, I would say, in dealing with this. And when I say trying to outmaneuver the situation, they may try to do things to try to skirt around the issue, so to speak, and still find ways to to bend these rules and still go out and try to mingle with some people. I mean, going to a store or something just for that sake, as opposed to actually going there to shop, as an example. If that's all you're supposed to be doing, those are some. I mean, that is. But the thing about it is, Gemini will be apt to provide themselves with certain mental stimulation, whether it's variety puzzle books or what have you. I emphasize the word variety. But again, the good thing about Gemini, though, is being a mutable sign. They could be very adaptable to the situation. And anyway, well, going to the zodiac sign Cancer. Well, Cancer, of course, is Cancer can be very introverted in their home bodies. I should know something about it, having Cancerian sun, my sun sign being in Cancer. And the thing about it is, Cancer, as maybe you know, can be very moody, fickle, and temperamental. And if Cancer is going to be at home even more during this situation, others may have to deal with the Cancerian mood swings, unfortunately. But the thing about Cancer is that they are so attuned to the home life. It really, in a lot of instances, it will not be much of a thing where they have to deviate from what they do ordinarily. But Cancer, even like any sign in astrology out of the way, can still become, it can still get a little exasperated having some kind of, imposed limitation set them, such as having to stay at home more due to perhaps some stipulation from that is associated with the coronavirus. But Cancer will find activities to do at home more so than the average zodiac sign, I would say. So they will deal with. I thought it was very interesting. I saw there was some episode of many of you may know about this on ESPN. It's a show called Around the Horn. But what they did was they made a little bit of a change to it. They called it Around the Home. They're improvising now. They're actually Around the Horn is a sports show in which they have 4 panelists which answer various questions pertaining to sports, and they give their various opinions and thoughts on the subjects, and they get points awarded for their answers depending on the quality of the answer. But they did an at-home version. It was called ESPN Around the Home, and the host of it, Tony Reali, no shocker there, his sun sign is Cancer, so go figure. But anyway, well, now going to the zodiac sign Leo. Well, Leo, as many of you may know, they may have the most difficulty in dealing with this situation, because Leo is known to be so gregarious, so extroverted. They often like to be the life of the party. They like to go out and be gregarious, and often will be the host of a party. They often will be the ones that want to do whatever it's their juggling act or magic tricks or things they can do to entertain their audience, whether it could be singing, it could be it might even be acting in some cases, something of a dramatic nature. They are the consummate, entertainers of the zodiac. So they may be affected more strongly, maybe than the other zodiac signs on average, because of their that abundant need to shine and to stand out. So. But in Leo, again, being not only it's the fact they're a fixed sign as well, given the fact they're fixed and the fact that they are so gregarious and so extroverted, this is the sign that might have the most difficulty in dealing with this, because, like I stated before, many countries in states in the United States, there are provisions now that are prohibiting people from leaving their homes for certain instances. And so those are, Leo, again, could be really strongly affected by this, more so than the other zodiac signs on average. But Leo I believe, will attempt to find creative things to do out of their home and entertainment, whether it can be through putting up YouTube videos or what have you, and doing things when they're in their circle at home that could be fun, amusing, and enjoying. Maybe playing Guitar Hero could be an example. Leo is very flamboyant, and they like to strut their stuff, and they could at least do it in a virtual sense, I would say, through like that game Guitar Hero as an example. So anyway, well, going to Virgo. Well, Virgo is when you look at the zodiac sign Virgo, they can be very, they're obviously epitomize health on average more so than the other zodiac signs. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, Virgo can simply embody health, and they often epitomize that they may be the ones that will be taking an abundance of precautions during this coronavirus situation, wearing those their mask or goggles, whatever they're going to be doing. You might even see more Virgos wearing like some kind of suit to give them extra protection against it. I saw a comical video that somebody had sent me on Facebook, and it was showing somebody that took like a can of Lysol spray and sprayed it on a receipt they got or something. And Virgo will be the ones that will go into the stores, I would say, more often than the other signs. They would have a greater propensity toward this than the other zodiac signs on average, wearing those plastic gloves as well. Virgo will not even, they will be the ones to do whatever they can. They will go all out to take their precautions to ensure themselves of not getting the coronavirus, or at least diminishing the chances of getting this coronavirus very significantly. Virgo can be the hypochondriac of the zodiac. And there was somebody I saw on TV, and I heard about. I'm surprised he didn't have a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant. I believe it's Howie Mandel, and he's one of those people that's always taking these kind of precautions. I can only imagine, try to envision what he's doing now during this coronavirus period. They think he was taking like paper towels, and he would grab like the handle of a restroom, of a public restroom, and he would grab to have the paper towel, and he would grasp the handle of the bathroom door with that paper towel. So anyway, people, that'll pretty much just going to conclude this YouTube astrological segment, because this is part one of two-part segment of the zodiac signs and the coronavirus. And stay tuned. Next time I'll be giving you part two of the zodiac signs and the coronavirus. And in that segment, I'm going to talk about the zodiac signs Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and how they may be dealing with this coronavirus pandemic that is currently going on. And yes, it will apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.